Join Manga's Elite Notification Squad today for more Dragon Ball content Tuesdays, Thursdays, and weekends.
Authors and artists work really hard on their stuff, so please support them using the links below.
What's up, everybody? Dragon Ball One Punch Man is a fan work by Garow Lee, who you may remember as the author of Dragon Ball Sai, Super Vegeta Den, and the official release, That Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha. His Twitter and other accounts I could find are listed below if you want to check him out, and I also want to give a big thank you to Hoshiboshi for translating and editing the first few chapters of the series. And another thank you to, and stop me if this sounds familiar, the Dragon Ball Guy 75 for translating the later half. And also a huge shout out to our first Patreon supporter, Jihad Shihadi, who looked up my forgotten Patreon account that I had never previously plugged on YouTube. So that's been updated and listed below for anybody who would also like a video shout out and a credit in Dragon Ball Infinity the animated series. Whether it's my Patreon account or Jordan's, the donations will go straight to the voice actors and animation team of the next episode. And one final shout out to Telemachus for the super chat donation during the premiere of episode 2. We appreciate everything folks are willing to give and are even more ecstatic just to see people interested in the series. But enough talk, let's get to some manga. In the middle of a desert, Vegeta is seen training as usual, but we're quickly made aware this wasn't exactly of his own volition, as he thinks about how Bulma scolded him that Trunks' teacher was coming over today. So if the Saiyan is to train, he will have to do it outside, frustrated to be bossed around by the Earth Woman. Though, trying to see the silver lining, he figures training outside every now and then isn't so bad. Then interrupting his focus, Saitama appears out of nowhere, asking, excuse me, I'm looking for a discount supermarket around here somewhere. Clearly sneaking up on the Saiyan Prince. Snapping his head around, Vegeta scoffs. Supermarket? No idea! I'm in the middle of important training, so scram! Leaving the laid-back B-class hero to just roll with a stranger's attitude, but thinking to himself, geez, what an uptight guy. And that's when it clicks with Vegeta, unable to believe what he's sensing. Emitting from this bald, hunched-over, silly-looking guy seems to be an overwhelming, endless fighting power, causing Vegeta to wonder who the hell this guy is. Not willing to pass up this opportunity, he points out to Saitama that he doesn't look too busy, challenging him to a fight. But stating the obvious, the reluctantly coined Caped Baldy responds that Vegeta doesn't look too busy himself. That is, to be loafing around in the middle of a weekday, throwing off the prince, who can only stammer for the man to shut his mouth. Whoa, pretty fast. He dodged effortlessly! Unbelievable, there are still people like this on Earth! Dang, who is this guy? He sure is strong. What now? You're pretty good. That weekday training wasn't in vain, I guess. Try deflecting this! Now for that, I should probably get a bit serious. Everything seems to momentarily settle, as Vegeta is stunned that this man was able to merely punch away his Gallic gun. Though, truth be told, Saitama admits that his hand is still tingling after that one, causing Vegeta to demand he tell him the secret behind his power. But just as he tells everybody else, he says he just trains a lot. The prince then demands he explain what kind of training he does. Naturally, this entails 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, as well as a 10-kilometer, or 6.2-mile, run every single day. And again, just like everyone else, Vegeta sneers at him not to make jokes, as there is no way that is all his training is. However, Saitama tries to assure him that that's the truth, and in exchange for his power, he lost all of his hair, suggesting that maybe Vegeta just isn't training hard enough, as he only has a receding hairline, before confidently stating that until Vegeta looks like him, he doesn't have a chance at winning.
It has nothing to do with this! I'm going to get serious now!
When his cell phone begins to ring, prompting him to reach out his arm saying, Wait, just a moment. Answering, turns out it's Bulma, barking that dinner is almost ready and he needs to get home now. Not one to aggravate the queen further, he apologizes to the bald fighter, saying he must return home, who could only balk at this turn of events. Surprisingly, Vegeta has the respect to ask Saitama his name, who returns this respect by asking Vegeta his. But upon hearing the name Vegeta, he asks if he's a foreigner. Saitama then requests that they exchange numbers so they can fight again sometime. As the Saiyan goes to leave, he tells Saitama that he better be prepared for their next battle before taking off into the sky, which leaves Saitama to wonder, how did he even get here in the first place? Recalling the fight, Vegeta knows that had he taken that last punch head on, things may have went pretty badly for him, wondering if he too should start doing push-ups. Then below, he spots Satan Mart, still near the desert, and advertising a bargain sale. A couple days later, Saitama spots none other than Vegeta on the TV, telling Genos that he fought this guy earlier. Awkwardly, Genos argues that that man is just an anime character, but Saitama presses that he's pretty certain it was him. As Genos stares blankly at the man he reveres as his master, he offers up a smile saying, "I believe you, sensei." But Saitama sees right through this, muttering out, "No you don't." But if Vegeta is simply an anime character in Saitama's world, how did the two manage to cross paths in this story? Not long after his fight with Vegeta, Saitama finds himself back in the Dragon World, even finding the bargain sale at Satan Mart. Upon walking out of the store, he spots a girl handing out flyers of some sort. Taking a closer look, he discovers that it's a martial arts tournament, and the prize for winning, 5 million. At said tournament, the announcer thanks the audience for their patience. Out of all the participants, only 12 have been chosen to fight in the Tenkaichi Budokai, and one lucky winner will get the chance to challenge the champ himself, Mr. Satan. The crowd cheers their hero's name, as he sits with a cocky grin smoking a cigar, chatting with Majin Buu.
Say, Mr. Buu, I think it's time we go over the plan for today.
Cutting him off, Buu asks him if he just wants him to lose to him again after the finals. But that's not it. Mr. Satan has caught on that the fans are getting bored of the same old routine, so he'd like Buu to beat up the last opponent real good, before intentionally losing to him instead. This way, it'll be easy pickings for the champ to retain his throne, who's pretty proud of this plan of his. Back outside, it's time for the first match, as Idasa and Saitama are called to the stage. And if you remember back to the tournament from the original Buu saga, we recognize Idasa as the arrogant opponent Trunks faced. His family is seen cheering him from the stands, just as insufferable and diabetic as before. While Idasa gets an elaborate intro detailing all these facts from the announcer, Saitama merely gets, "And Saitama! Today is his debut!" Who's a little disappointed by this lack of enthusiasm. Looking into the audience, he wasn't expecting this tournament to be so popular. While the money is the only reason he's here, you can't help but wonder if anybody strong will actually be here. Idasa starts with the trash talk. "Hey Baldy, I'll wipe the floor with you. Envying my body and hair, aren't ya?" But Saitama just tells him that his hairstyle is super lame. And Idasa doesn't take this scathing insult well, as the match begins. And in a satisfying resolution of douchebag justice, Idasa is launched instantly from the ring and into the crowd, giving Saitama a predictably easy victory. Hopefully this happening again will give he and his family the humility they need. While gratifying to us, Saitama is pretty disappointed at the realization that this is all this is going to be. And just like this round, he KOs his way through the competition, until eventually making it to the finals against Majin Buu. Saitama has managed to get all the way to this point while throwing only a grand total of 3 punches, and Buu is undefeated in the history of the tournament and fights not against Mr. Satan, giving the crowd a great matchup for the first time in years. Even Buu is hyped up on this one. Saitama tells Buu that he's been watching his fights, and knows he himself is not the only one holding back, telling the Majin to get serious. "Well then, begin the final match!" Whoa, you could retract your head. Both fighters are simultaneously on the offensive and defensive, as their capes flutter in the wind. But while the fight is underway, Mr. Satan is fast asleep as a member of the tournament staff comes rushing in to wake him up. He groggily asks if the match is over, but the employee tells him that it's still in progress, causing the champ to ask if Buu's in a pinch, and may actually lose, as is their plan of course. But on the contrary, the match is absolutely incredible, even shaking the very room they stand in. Getting a look at it. Wow, amazing! Taking a little cover, it appears Mr. Satan didn't research exactly who Buu is about to fight, unaware he's one-shot his way through the tournament up until now. Huh? What's this stuff? Gross. Punching a hole in the Majin, Mr. Satan freaks out as Buu falls to the ground. The announcer alerts the audience to this horrifying turn of events. Realizing he accidentally punched seriously, Saitama believes he killed him. But as we know, this is nothing more than a scratch to Majin Buu, jumping back up and healing in only seconds. You're pretty tough, ain't ya? The pair face off yet again as Buu's anger grows, telling his opponent that hurt a little. Then Mr. Satan yells after his partner in crime, telling him, seemingly telepathically, to just beat this guy. To hell with the arrangement. Remembering back to exactly what this arrangement was, Buu grows an innocent smile before turning back to Saitama, urging him to bring it, as he's not scared of his punches. Obliging, Buu seems to have misunderstood what Satan was trying to tell him, as he just lets Saitama knock him out of the ring, leaving everyone with a giant sense of dissatisfaction. But with a job to do, the announcer excitedly declares him the winner, who will go on to face Satan himself, calling this the birth of a new hero. Saitama runs up to Buu, calling him out for throwing the fight on purpose. But giggling, Buu just tells Saitama that he sure is strong and wants to fight again sometime. As simultaneously, Mr. Satan finds himself in yet another sticky situation. The announcer begins to hype up the final match as the crowd murmurs how Mr. Satan is going to crush this guy. But the champ can tell this new guy is at least on the same level as Goku and the others. While he wonders what he should do, the staff member brings up his cape and belt, ushering him onto the stage. While the announcer says everything to Mr. Satan's credit, and the crowd rallies for their hero. On the inside, the champ just thinks how bad he wants to go home. But upon pointing out how much he's sweating, Satan just claims he overdid it while warming up, causing another roar from the audience. Having not caught on, Saitama gets pumped at the thought of fighting the world champion. While most of the crowd cheers for the familiar face, there is a good portion of folks cheering Saitama's name as well, which is a nice change of pace for the newcomer. But continuing to lose his composure, Mr. Satan knows if he's punched even a single time, there's no doubt he'll be a goner. But trying to convince himself otherwise, he gets his first real good look at Saitama, noticing that he's bald and not exactly built like a warrior, telling himself this is all a dream. That's the only thing it could be. With this newfound denial, shouting for everyone to hear,
Wahaha! You did a fine job defeating Mr. Buu, but it's about 100 years too early for you to be taking on the reigning champion, Mr. Satan!
Continuing to showboat for the crowd, Satan tells himself that since this is a dream, he may as well make it worthwhile before the match officially begins. Telling the challenger to come at him. He can't even finish this taunt before Saitama is right in his face, merely flicking him backwards. And in about a literal second, Satan is down, stunning the crowd. The 10 count begins, finally snapping him back to reality. This isn't a dream after all, and he's going to die for sure. But there's no way he's going to allow himself to go down from a simple flick to the forehead. Struggling, the announcer gets all the way to 6 before Satan's back on his feet. The crowd cheers for him once more, as Saitama looks on fiercely. Trying to actually do something, Satan rushes him, punching him square in the face. Naturally, this is like a fly trying to headbutt an elephant. Finding himself down again, the crowd again acts as his encouragement, as he tries desperately to catch his breath. But no matter what he does, we all know it's futile. As we all kind of feel sorry for the world champ, who tries to chalk up his third knockdown to the arena floor being too slippery. Old man, come at me with your best move.
What? Very well then. I was saving this for last, but okay. The move I've honed since the day I first started contending for the title. Dynamite kick!
Landing his signature move, Saitama falls. Confused as he rightfully should be, Satan looks on in utter shock. Man, I felt that one. I give up. The announcer bellows out Saitama's forfeiture, declaring Mr. Satan once again the reigning champ. Possibly thinking he's dreaming again, he tries to get words out as his challenger rises from the ground. Huh, I guess your fighting spirit pushed me back, old-timer. Don't ever lose, champ.
Right, of course. I am the champion after all. Hey, pay me a visit later. I'll give you the prize money.
What? You sure about that? As the cheering eventually fades away, Saitama soon makes his way back home, explaining again to Genos what happened, holding the prize money, who vigorously takes notes of his master's exploits, specifically how he respected the champion. Offering to treat his roommate to some dinner, he pulls out the money, getting his first look at it. But neither he or Genos even recognize these kinds of bills, causing Genos to ask what country it even came from. Realizing the unfortunate truth, they won't be able to spend this money anywhere near here. Several days later, Mr. Satan can be seen taking a run around a town, as random folks cheer him on, telling him how inspirational his last fight was. Feeling good about himself and how occasional training isn't so bad, but looking down, he done stepped on some Duke. As his admirers continue to cheer, he simply tries to hide this fallacy by striking a pose. As overhead, a spaceship looms over the planet. Jumping back in time a bit, a creature who looks like Buu from the Red Ribbon Army lies dead in the street with a little bit of blood coming from his mouth, possibly food poisoning. Regardless, a student bows to a fully haired Saitama, giving him thanks for saving him, asking his hero name. But he doesn't really have one, explaining that he's just a hero for fun. While the boy is confused why Saitama is dressed up like that then, he reiterates his thanks regardless, telling him to keep up the good work. Thinking to himself, Saitama realizes that even though this is just a hobby, since he has been taking down monsters for a while now, maybe he should try to look more like a proper hero. Before spotting something streaming across the sky, as the people behind him speculate on what it could be. A UFO, a meteor? Saitama doesn't have time to waste and sprints after it. We soon find out, it's a few of what looks like Frieza's men. Happy to be on solid ground. One laughs how they finally managed to find themselves a suitable planet, as the salamander guy asks what kind of planet this is exactly. Hair metal in the back has no clue. But there are lots of inhabitants here. However, their power levels are nothing. But then, he reads a high power nearby, pointing in the direction it's coming from, peeking out from behind a rock. Guess they noticed me. Trotting on over, Saitama asks if these guys are real aliens.
Well, from your point of view.
Wow, what an ugly bunch.
Shut your mouth!
Salamander asks what the scouter says about his power, but Twisted Sister insists that the scouter is broken, prompting him to raise his blaster to deal with him now. Oops. While the soldiers lie in shock how an Earthling managed to dodge the blast, Saitama gets rather frustrated at being attacked for no reason out of nowhere, resolving that they really have come to invade the planet. Well then, I wonder if I can beat these guys. Let's try consecutive punches.
Ow! I got him! It was a direct hit! No way!
Quickly burying Edgar the Pug, Saitama gets a look at his tattered clothing. A little embarrassed he has to go back to town looking like this, although he remains grateful that his pants didn't burn up too. But then, Twisted Sister sneaks up around him, turning out not to be dead after all, getting him in a chokehold. He tells Saitama that he's not going to take it anymore, laughing that he let his guard down, but at the same time, complimenting the human fighter on what a scary warrior he is, as he puts the blaster right in Saitama's face, telling him to die.
You're the one who's going to die. Damn space trash.
Oh, wow. A few moments later,
You have my thanks, Saitama. Due to your quick arrival, the damage was kept to a minimum.
Honestly, I usually don't make it in time. Piccolo, is being a hero your hobby as well?
It's not.
I have to say, he looks kind of mysterious.
I see your clothes got all messed up. Here, something more fitting of a hero. Clothes beam! A friend of mine used to wear this as his hero outfit. I will also give you a proper hero name. From now on, you shall be the Great Saitaman!
Well, it's time for me to head back. Thanks for everything, Piccolo.
Sure. Saitama, huh? He will grow stronger yet. I'll be looking forward to that.
This cape feels kinda nice, actually. When I get strong enough to be a proper hero, I should. Jumping back to present day.
Hey! Do you even know where you are? You've got balls coming to our HQ on your own!
Saitama finds himself facing the modern incarnation of the Red Ribbon Army, known as the Red Pants Army. Alright, let's get it on! In Dr. Kuseno's lab, Genos drops a cyborg Cacao on the floor, who you may remember as a henchman of Turles. Genos tells the doctor, as you can plainly see, this man was quite the formidable opponent, requesting to use some of Cacao's cybernetics for updates. But it appears Kuseno has an injury of his own, explaining that it's only a burn. He will nonetheless be unable to operate on Genos for a number of days. But he knows of someone who can repair him, one of the wealthiest people in the world, whose family has made a fortune on selling world-class inventions. Genos, being the blindly faithful guy he is, eagerly asks the doctor to point him in their direction, as the doc thinks to himself, though they are a bit strange. At Capsule Corps, Bulma tells the young man he can wake up now. Opening his eyes, Genos is looking a tad different than before. Sporting Android 16's body, Bulma tells him that those parts used to belong to a good friend of theirs, and they've had him locked away for a long time now. While Genos feels the form is a little bit bloated, he's excited to tell his combat abilities have dramatically increased, Brief chiming in that even before these most recent modifications, Dr. Kuseno's work on the cyborg was already quite impressive, Bulma admitting that it's a great feeling to see there are still other scientists in the world that can compete with them. Genos expresses his thanks to the two before heading towards the door, muttering he must get back to his training, to which Bulma suggests he take a short break, but he insists he cannot, as he has goals to achieve and must not remain idle. Though, we all know how stubborn Bulma can be, rushing out after him, adamant she show him around West City. And outside, we hear somebody we recognize in the middle of an argument. It seems Jaco has ventured down from space once more, demanding to know who this stupid robot is. Dr. Brief explains that's one of theirs, causing Jaco some minor embarrassment. Bulma asks what he's doing here. He tells the gang the Earth is in great danger once again, as Frieza's big brother Cooler is on his way. Shocked to hear that bloodthirsty maniac has a brother, Jaco goes on to explain that he also has his own personal guards that far surpass the Ginyu Force, suggesting she should definitely get those Saiyans here as soon as possible. But of course, they've gone off training with Whis again, asking how much time they have. Jaco does what Jaco does, stating they only have about 30 minutes, leaving Bulma none too happy. That's when Genos finally speaks up, requesting information on this alien they call Cooler, as he sounds like a threat, asking his disaster level. But no one in the dragon world even knows what a disaster level is. So Jaco tells him that no matter how you measure it, Frieza's brother could easily destroy the planet. Understanding the situation, Genos then asks if they know where he's gonna land, as he will engage him. And again, Bulma reiterates to Genos that he needs to rest. However, the cyborg reminds her that he cannot sit still while the Earth is in danger. Turning back to Jaco, he requests the Galactic Patrolman inform his sensei of the situation, giving him the address. A bit skeptical, Jaco questions if they can actually count on this guy, but Genos confidently states his master is unbeatable. Not wanting to press his button further, Jaco gets in a ship and explains the location Cooler is expected to land. Genos himself prepares to leave, as Bulma shouts that their friends will be right behind them, before thinking they need to find a way to contact Whis. While Dr. Brief behind her seems to be in a world of his own, picking up and holding a lizard he found on the ground. Krillin gets a phone call, alerting him to the situation, telling whatever the heck that thing is not to commit any crimes while he's gone. And on the inside, Krillin is kinda happy to be heading back to the battlefield, as overhead, a henchman announces to Cooler they're approaching the Earth. Getting a feel for his new body, Genos is stunned to see he can now fly completely unaided, touching down on the supposed landing site. Blasting it out of the sky, Genos thinks this fight was all too easy. But jumping from the wreckage, Cooler's armored squadron, not too happy to see their spaceship destroyed. Even the big man himself makes his presence known. The beeping of their scouters interrupts any immediate retaliation as Piccolo and Gohan arrive. Bulma having informed them who Genos is, Gohan happily greets him, introducing himself and Piccolo. Then, stepping down with a shiny bald head, Genos is elated to see his not sensei, as it's revealed to be Tien, leaving the cyborg a bit let down. Even as two more bald-headed heroes arrive, neither one are Saitama, as Roshi and Krillin arrive with some sensu beans. Before Piccolo tells him to cut the chatter, Cooler has been waiting patiently, telling the gang he has no interest in present company, announcing a ruler of his stature doesn't concern himself with such trash. Asking where the Super Saiyan is, Gohan assures him that he will be here shortly, as Master Roshi insists they play with them in the meantime. Salza then makes the request, as his loyal subject, to allow he and the others to engage, which Cooler grants.
Here they come! Let's split up and take them on, one-on-one!
up, Krillin! Damn it! Solar Flare!
Impossible. I hit him with everything. Quite the durable opponent. While Gohan continues to toy with Salsa, it looks like he let his guard down for a moment. Piccolo yells out for him to catch, tossing him a sword very similar to the one he trained with as a child. Hopefully, this will help even things up a bit. Exclaiming it kind of reminds him of Trunks, Piccolo then tells him to consider this a bonus, giving him Goku's traditional gi. And as a nice Easter egg, I believe what is future Gohan's original symbol, Han, which, much less nice of an Easter egg, by itself means food or meal, so that's something you now know.
I have something to ask you. Who was it that wished you back with the Dragon Balls? You're mistaken. You believe we died on this planet. But did you ever find our bodies? The regeneration chambers of King Cold can regenerate organic matter, no matter how badly damaged. We were able to escape and resurrect Lord Cooler ourselves. So that's how you survived. How pitiful. Don't you mock me? Be gone. Hardly a challenge. Enjoy hell.
Dory! Instantly proving no match for Gohan, the Half Saiyan confidently states that Salza's energy is no match for his own. Without any recourse, the henchman tosses his energy to the wayside, as Gohan does the same with his sword. Which sucks. That just sucks. Who else wanted to see him actually use it? Either way, ready to go, Salza rushes him. Grabbing him effortlessly, Salza can only frantically wonder what is happening, as he's unable to move. Gohan explains that Earthlings can rapidly alter their power levels. So fast, actually, their scouters can't even detect it. Knocking the crony to the earth. Gohan is just happy to see his powers haven't gotten too rusty. Roshi shouts after Krillin and Tien, getting the attention of the final squad member. As the other humans fall to the ground, Krillin looks over to Roshi, fearing the worst. But Genos managed to step in to save him. Roshi apologizes for letting his guard down, thanking the cyborg. Revealed to be quite some distance away, Tien and Krillin can only speculate on who this new guy exactly is. Nis tries to get a read on his power, but nothing, leaving him to conclude he's a robot or something. Staring him down, Genos merely tells the old-timer to observe. With a convincing victory, the Earthlings are pretty stoked to see things are looking up for the good guys.
Well, he seems to have that problem under control. Now, what about Cooler?
And we find that he's taking the death of his men pretty well. Rising to his feet, he says it's no matter, again asking if the Super Saiyan has arrived. Heading closer.
You look so much like him. It's like facing Frieza all over again.
Cooler explains that his brother's blinding self-confidence led him to believe he could defeat his aggressors with merely 4 months of training. Meaning, since Cooler's resurrection, he has dedicated the last year to nothing less than physical and mental perfection. In other words, Cooler has undergone 3 times as much training as Frieza. And the Space Tyrant has also learned the Saiyans now rival the gods themselves, admitting that he also has elevated himself to that point, stunning the Earthlings. Meanwhile, Bulma shouts to the sky trying to get the attention of Whis with the allure of various foods. While Piccolo, Gohan, and the others aren't who Cooler is looking for, he asks if they will assist him in testing his new power. Never one to back down from a challenge, Piccolo accepts, tossing his weighted clothes to the ground.
Do you feel that, Gohan?
Powering up, it seems Gohan hasn't lost too much of his strength, telling Piccolo he's ready.
Good.
Your attitude has changed, boy. Are you also a Super Saiyan? If so, then you'll do for now. You will cease your assault, or I will destroy you.
Away from the Dragon World. Who are you? Striking a pose, Jocko introduces himself as a member of the Galactic Patrol, asking what he's doing here. He then explains the situation going on with Genos, and that an alien invader, even more powerful than Boros, has landed on the Earth. The idea of someone stronger than Boros intrigues Saitama, admitting aloud that he was pretty tough. Mouth agape, Jocko stammers that this guy actually fought the captain of the Dark Pirates. Glancing him over, Jocko has his doubts this guy is as strong as Genos lets on. But if what he's saying is true, he must have limitless potential. Agreeing to join, Saitama runs inside to change real quick.
Take me where the action is, Jocko.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town.
Excuse me, would you happen to be king? Could you please come back with me to meet Dr. Wheelo?
Dr. Wheelo? Who's that? And who says I want to meet him?
You ask too many questions. If you refuse, my biomen will attack these innocent people walking the streets.
King, finding himself in another corner due to his lack of actual strength, decides he only has one shot. He just has to convince him to let him leave. And this master plan just entails him asking to go wash his hands. But Koshin insists he can just do it later, pulling him to his aircraft, leaving everyone around murmuring about what just happened.
Look, Dr. Wheelo, I brought King back with me.
Come closer, Doctor. I have need of you.
Yes, Dr. Wheelo, of course.
Then unleashing his creations, Koshin explains to King that they would like to see what the strongest man on the planet is capable of.
Okay, time to start the show.
Wait, I still haven't gotten around to washing my hands. I'd hate to get your warriors dirty.
Tough, there's no toilet here.
I'm dead. This is it.
My bad. I had to make a pit stop. Saitama's heroics surprising the three of them. He asks King if he's okay, who's just in shock of how he got here, explaining he just happened to pass by the crowd that was talking in the street. They said he was kidnapped and pointed him in the right direction.
Thank you, Saitama.
Huh?
Oh, amazing! He took them out with just one punch.
This is the real strongest man. His body is just right for me.
My body? What do you mean?
I will plant my mind into your body, so me and Dr. Koshin can conquer the world.
We'll exchange Dr. Wheelo's brilliant mind with yours and put yours in the tank.
You think you can take my body away by force? You know it won't be easy, right?
I don't care. It's mine. I will be human again.
Huh? King, what time is it now? It's just past 7 p.m. Then Saitama realizes he's made the gravest mistake of all. He missed the sale at the supermarket.
I better just give up on my research. This is getting a little weird.
But with Cooler still around, there are more important things for Saitama to focus on rather than groceries. Due to the interference of Genos, the action has taken a brief pause in the battle against Cooler. Looking at the cyborg, he asks if he too has come to kill him, but is met with only silence. He then assures him he will destroy the Earth and all of its people. Spectating, the Balds can see things are looking pretty even for the moment, as Genos thinks how much stronger Cooler is than expected, ranking him to be the strength of an S-class hero. Admitting he feels that these two are worthy, Cooler announces they will lay witness to his next transformation. That's when Gohan remembers Goku telling him Cooler indeed has one more transformation. Then, Genos attacks, shocking everyone. Scolding the cyborg, Cooler demands to know why he's attacking. Even Gohan seems a bit put off.
I mean, seriously, who attacks someone mid-transformation?
As Cooler hops back to gain some distance, Genos can only ask himself if this is how people really fight in this world. Finishing properly, the battle resumes.
Senzu Bean!
This is odd. You're not totally organic.
That's right! I'm a cyborg!
I see. No matter. You'll feel no pain regardless. Gah! What is this? My whole body has gone numb.
While he managed to stun the invader, Genos had thought that attack would do so much more.
Gohan, eat this. Cooler managed to cause this much damage with only a handful of attacks.
Getting back to his feet, Gohan thanks Piccolo, but also tells him that until Goku and Vegeta arrive, he has to continue to keep Cooler busy, returning to the battle, leaving Piccolo to curse his own lack of strength, shouting for Goku to just hurry up and get here. Meanwhile, Whis is seen thumbing through a cookbook as the Oracle Fish floats his way over with a message from Earth, Bulma of course. Contacting her, she explains what's been going on to the Angel, telling him to get Goku and Vegeta here right now. Looking in on the fight, Whis can plainly see that this Cooler fellow is quite powerful, but unfortunately, the Saiyans are currently running laps and won't be done for quite some time now. However, it does seem someone else may come to their rescue, someone with a bald head. But Bulma argues that Krillin and Tien are already at the battle, and they're Krillin and Tien, asking who Whis means. But he quickly changes the subject, reminding her of those amazing foods she'd promised earlier. As Jaco and Saitama make their way to the fight, Saitama is taking the situation as casually as ever, really more concerned with his video game, this demeanor only leading to further doubts from Jaco. Entering a few buttons in front of him, he makes a call, asking Bulma if she was able to get Goku and Vegeta. But upon finding out she wasn't, Jaco loses his cool a bit, spouting out in front of Saitama that if they can't make it, they and the entire planet are sitting ducks, planting a seed in the Caped Hero. While Gohan was able to deliver a fierce Kamehameha, Piccolo knows it isn't over, asking Krillin again for a Senzu Bean, but they're all gone. As Cooler's energy comes back into focus, Krillin cowers that the last attack did nothing to him.
Apparently, I seem to have surpassed you all with only a single year of training. No one can match me now. Super Saiyans, deities, I'll eliminate them all!
Achoo! Gohan! Something's coming.
Yo! The man of the hour has arrived.
Oh.
Yamcha, what are you doing here? Well, I couldn't just sit at home. I hear our old pal Frieza has a brother. Look, I might not be that strong, but I still have my pride as a martial artist, and I refuse to sit this one out. Yamcha.
He's right. Even if we're outmatched, we're still warriors!
I guess my first victim will be you.
Hey, I hear your name's Cooler. Let's get the small talk and fight man to man. I'll show you the power of us Earthlings. Wolf-Fang Fist! Key! Go! Ho! But as you may have guessed, the Earth's fighters had no chance against the invading alien.
Fear not, Earth Dwellers. Your little struggle is over.
No!
You creatures were amusing, but the time has come to say goodbye.
What do we do now?
How adorable! You may as well give up.
The fighters of Earth gave it everything they had to hold off Cooler's massive attack. Neither Genos or Gohan willing to let everything they love turn to dust.
What is this awesome power approaching? It better be Goku or Vegeta. But it feels different.
Serious series.
What? No, no, no!
Saitama finally making it to the battle. Genos couldn't be happier to see his sensei, while the others just wonder who the heck this guy is. Everyone, except for Piccolo.
It's that guy from before. I didn't even recognize him.
No! This is not happening again! No matter what! Who did that? How is this possible?
On the ground, Genos declares victory, but Saitama isn't too sure. Above, Cooler thinks that maybe the Saiyans have arrived. Powering up to his golden bulked up form, Cooler makes his return. The Earthlings again panic on what they should do. Saitama turns to Genos asking if this is the guy. Back for revenge, Gohan is horrified to discover he had yet another transformation in reserve. Cooler, not having spotted Goku or Vegeta, asks who it was that deflected his attack, before laying eyes on Saitama.
And who are you?
A hero for fun.
Cool. Bye.
Run away!
So who's next?
You think you can just face blast me and walk away?
What?
Serious single punch. And just as before, Cooler is launched into the sun, defeated. I can't believe it. He has that much power. Oh jeez, I only had one of these suits. Huh?
You're much stronger than before.
Oh, you. Turns out Salza, much like before, managed to survive, with enough strength to take Krillin hostage. Bang! Then the unlikely hero Jocko saves the day. Krillin happy he finally has something good to say about the guy. What, Piccolo? You know this guy?
Yeah, I met him a few years ago.
My name is Yamcha. Please take me on as your disciple. No. What? Why? Genos then tells his sensei he has something to say. He first came to this world with the help of Dr. Kuseno, but was badly damaged. Thanks to a couple brilliant scientists, he was able to obtain his current body, which possesses immense power. Unfortunately, it didn't last too long. And in this world, he's found numerous individuals with power more than enough to rise to the upper echelons of the hero society, and has reason to believe there may even be stronger individuals yet. If he and Saitama were to remain here, just imagine how much more powerful they too could become. There is also a legend here of 7 magical orbs that once gathered will grant its possessor any wish, suggesting if they embark on a quest to find them, it may cure his sensei's chronic boredom. And who knows, maybe something exciting will happen along the way. Asking its teacher, what do you think? Would you like to stay in this world a while? No, let's go home. There's a bargain sale tomorrow. And just like that, they head back. I thought he was joking. Can they really make any wish come true? And thus concludes the story of Saitama and Genos in Dragon World.